Joe Dispenza, can he really help you heal using your mind alone? I've been going to his events for over a year now, trying to get over a mold-related illness. And after going to his events for a year, you're going to be shocked by the results.
Our research shows that your thoughts can make you sick. And the question is, if your thoughts can make you sick, can your thoughts make you well? That's absolutely possible, and it's easy to learn. So when you wake up in the morning,
Dr. Joe Dispenza,
researcher and best-selling author.
One of the most sought-after speakers in the world.
All with the aim of helping people better understand and unlock the power of their mind.
75 to 90% of every person that goes to a healthcare facility goes because of psychological or emotional stress, and it gets addictive to people.
Hi, my name's Tony Javier, and while I do a lot of business videos, I love to do personal development and wellness videos like this to help you guys. Because it doesn't matter how much money you make, it's how you feel at the end of the day. And videos like this will make you feel better. So I did it again. I went to my third Joe Dispenza event. I did this one in Nashville. So I'm gonna take you behind the scenes of Nashville, and then I'm gonna compare it to the Denver event and the Washington, DC event. That way, if you decide to go to an event, you know which one is best. Because honestly, they are all pretty different. If you haven't checked out the video on my Denver experience, over 100,000 people have viewed it, so you need to go check it out. There's obviously some good stuff in there. So if you're thinking about going to an event, I'm going to share what to do, what not to do, and how I got a discount on this one. And at the end, I'm gonna give you my top 10 takeaways that you can implement yourself, even if you don't go to this event. Basically, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this event and other events that you can now take advantage of. If you've seen some of my earlier videos, you know I was pretty sick. I was pretty much in bed from a mold-related illness. So I sought out Joe's events. He says that your mind can heal yourself. And last year when I went to my first Denver event, I was struggling really hard. That event really gave me a jump start to start getting well. Here I am a year later after my third event, and am I back? I'll let you know here in a little bit. So now I'm going to take you behind the scenes to show you what this event was like. Walk in from my hotel across the street, day 2, and Joe is very intentional about what he does. So 5:30 a.m., doors open, 6 a.m. start, which makes sense because he talks all about habits. So I think he's wanting you to get into the habit of meditating and getting up early in the morning to do it. A couple things that he said yesterday is 95% of what you do is subconscious, and 90% of what you do every day are the same things over and over and over. And what are the chances that things are going to be the same? Pretty easy math, 90% chance that your days are going to be the same over and over and over, and the things that are happening in your life are going to continue to happen. So what do you have to do to change? In order for things to change, you have to change, and your actions have to change, your thoughts have to change. Again, we think the same things over and over and over, and then we think things are gonna change. But guess what? They are not. Do you know why people don't meditate and why they don't take different actions? It's because they're scared to change. And it's very uncomfortable. That's why people say, I can't meditate. It's because you get in your thoughts, you get uncomfortable. But once you break through that uncomfortableness, that is where the magic happens. By the way, this is my third event. If you haven't watched the other 2 videos of my previous events, you should go check those out. Every time I come here, I make a change. There's a shift. The problem is the change doesn't always last and it fades a little bit. So I'd like to go to at least a couple events like this year, if not 4 or 5 events like this year. That's the big challenge, is making the change last. And if you've seen those videos, you've known that I've gone through some health challenges the last few years. And it's things like these that have helped me just really reset and help me get back to pretty close to 100%. When I came last year, I was struggling really heavy. And Dr. Joe says that disease is the body talking to you. In order to overcome disease, you have to overcome yourself. And the best way to overcome yourself is deep meditation. And there's no better way to do it than to go into a room with 2,000 people that are wanting the same thing that you are.
some more of that.
All right, getting ready to head over for day number 3. Some notes from yesterday, some good stuff. So first of all, meditated for 6 hours yesterday, 6 hours. And just like anything, kind of like lifting weights and working out, if you haven't done it in a while, or if you've never done it before, sometimes it just takes some traction. It takes multiple times doing it. You start seeing some gains and all of a sudden it just becomes easier, right? So a few notes that I want to share from yesterday. So first of all, you have to step into the unfamiliar and you have to do things that you haven't done before. Nothing changes unless you change. When this happens, I'm going to feel happier. When this happens, I'm going to whatever. You can't wait for things to happen. You have to be the change. And if you have the same emotions over and over, that means you're not taking the right actions. You're not doing the things to create the different emotion that's going to create the different outcome. I love when he says this, be defined by a memory of the future. Most people are defined by their past, but what if you can define yourself with what could happen in the future? So think about the possibilities of what could happen, and instead of thinking about the past and the things that haven't happened and all the things that maybe went wrong, what if you could look into the future and think about the things that could be and be defined by that? And then last thing, he says that you actually damage your brain with negative thoughts. But not only negative thoughts, but stress. I've just thought about all the stress that I've had running a business and doing all the things that I do. And now I'm consciously gonna think, why am I stressing over this? If I'm stressing over this, it's damaging my brain. And the stress you create by thinking about what could change is way worse than just relaxing and letting it be. If negative things happen, they happen. But by not having that negative thought, you're not damaging your brain. So I've got pages and pages of notes already. Looking forward to sharing some more notes from the next couple of days and my overall thoughts on being here in Nashville. So there it is, 7 days, 35 hours of meditation. But don't let that scare you. It's a lot easier when you've got 2,000 people doing it with you. There are people at this event that have never meditated before that still had a great experience and were able to get into it. So as you know, a lot of people go to these events to heal, and it was really powerful watching regular people dealing with illnesses that completely transform in the healing meditations. People go for all kinds of different things. They go for cancer, they go for long COVID, they go for unexplained conditions. And you get to see these people transforming in front of your eyes. If you're struggling and need to heal, this is the place. And if you know someone who's struggling through something, please share this video with them. When I went to the Denver event last year, it really gave me a jump start. Earlier this year, I went to Washington, D.C. to help continue that. And when I went to Nashville, I wasn't quite 100%, but here I am a little over 2 weeks after the Nashville event, and I can say that I'm feeling normal now. That's right, I'm feeling 100%, something I haven't felt in a long time. Was all of it, Joe? Probably not. Was a good part of it? I would say yes. So whether you're dealing with something or not, I think this is a great event to go to. So I already gave you some takeaways in the video, but now I'm gonna share my top 10 takeaways now that I've been able to digest my notes and really think about it further. And after this, I'm gonna tell you which event I liked best and why I'm not a big fan of the hotels that they usually use. First, the body is the subconscious mind. Emotions and habits are stored in the body and can keep us locked up in old states of being. So what you have to do is you have to unlock the negative emotions. I've only cried less than a handful outside of these events, and I cried at every single event. And those were, for me, emotions that were being unlocked that I've been hiding for a long time. Next is breaking the habit of being yourself, which requires becoming aware of your unconscious patterns and consciously choosing new ones. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, 90% of what you do is done over and over every single day. Those are unconscious patterns. So now you have to take the unconscious patterns that aren't healthy and choose to replace those with conscious, positive, new ones. Next is meditation as rehearsal. Mental rehearsal creates the same neurology changes as physical practice. This rewires the brain for new outcomes. So as you're meditating, your mind, whether you know it, is rehearsing new outcomes for your life. Next is energy before matter. Don't wait for the physical outside of you to change first. You must energetically change yourself, and the physical and the outside will follow. A lot of people look for things outside of them to energetically change, but change yourself energetically, and the outside of you will eventually change. Next, I'm going to talk about survival emotions. Survival emotions drain your energy. This is fear, this is worry, this is guilt. While elevated emotions, which are gratitude, joy, and love, generate energy. So if you want to be in a higher state, look for elevated emotions, not survival emotions, which a lot of people are in all the time. Next is change your energy. If you change your energy, you will change your life. Outcomes follow shifts in your inner state, not your external conditions. It sounds like I may be repeating something I already said, but I'm trying to say it in a different way. I've been to 3 of these events now, and I hear the same things over and over, and sometimes I just need to hear it in a different way. But this one is really important, and that's why I'm touching on it again. You know, stuff happens all the time, but there's one thing you're in control of, and that's how you handle it. That's the energy that you bring to it. And the energy you bring to it is going to determine your outcome. Next is practice. Practice until it becomes automatic. Repetition of new states wire new pathways and conditions the body. That's why I like going to these events, is because I want to deepen the practice. And not only do I practice at these events, I try and practice every single day. Imagine adding just 5 minutes a day of meditation and what it's going to produce years down the road. But even 5 minutes a day can produce a lot for that day. Next is emotions are chemical records. They are chemical records of the past. So to create a new future, you must generate feelings you've never felt before. So if you're used to being sick, you're used to being tired, you're used to being depressed, try new feelings. Try happiness, try joy, things that you've never felt before. And if you do this on a daily basis, you're going to change your vibration, which is going to change your results. Again, I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I want to drive home the point. Next is your personality is your personal reality. Joe talks about this all the time. The things that you do over and over every single day are your personal reality, which becomes your personality. You know how they say people have personalities? It's because the things that they've done over and over every single day that has formed that personality. Yes, some people are born certain ways, but most people are formed by the things they do over and over. Last but not least, consistency over intensity. Daily practice of coherence and elevated emotions compounds into transformation. So while doing it every once in a while could help you make a change, but doing it every single day over and over is going to allow you to elevate yourself to another level. So if you have trouble being consistent, time block it. And remember, it's not about intensity, meaning that you don't want to meditate for 3 days straight and then not meditate for the next year. In that instance, it's better to do smaller meditations every single day. All right, I know that was a lot, but now I want to tell you which event I thought was better. So again, I went to Denver last year, July of 2024. I went to Washington, D.C. earlier this year, which is May of 2025. And this year, Nashville, September of 2025. The thing is, they each had their own feel. So for me, Washington, D.C. was my least favorite. Maybe it's the energy of the political arena out there, but it just wasn't as positive as my previous experience in Denver. And I wasn't alone. There were many others that said the exact same thing. Nashville, I really liked. I'd rank it second overall. There were good people there, it was good energy, and the hotel was pretty good. But by far my favorite was Denver. They say there are 3 best Joe events: Denver, Cancun, which is 10 days, and Marco Island. People rave about Cancun and Marco Island. They say that it's magical and there's something about it. Those two are definitely on my bucket list. But what I loved about Denver is it was Denver. The energy there was very positive. In the venue, you were literally able to walk outside the hallway and then walk right outside into a grassy area. It was July, so there's a lot of sun, and we were able to sit out and just ground in the grass. So let me tell you one thing I don't like about Joe Dispenza's events is he uses the Gaylord hotels, which are big and beautiful, but they have a lot of indoor water features, which means humidity, chlorine smell, and potential mold. So if you're sensitive, that's something to be aware of. Oh, and the discount I mentioned, it was actually for Nashville. Periodically, they will give discounts. I'm not sure why they gave a discount on this one. Maybe they're having trouble selling tickets. So if you are budget conscious, just look out for the discounts. This one is typically $2,500, but I got it for $2,000. And remember, that does not include hotel and food. So bottom line, you can't go wrong with any event. They are all very healing. And if you're worried about picking the wrong location, just choose the right one that fits your budget and your schedule. And of course, the location near you. But if you can do Marco Island, Denver, or Cancun, I would put those at the top. And be prepared. When you go, take warm clothes. A lot of people assume that it's going to be warm in these rooms and they regret it. And bring a yoga mat if you can. Otherwise, the hotel typically provides sheets you can lay down on for the long meditations. But be warned, this is addictive. I met someone whose wife has gone 14 times in the last 4 years. And there were many people that it was their second, third, or fourth event. And I can see why. So if you want to jumpstart in your meditation, your health, and your energy, this is the place to go. And if you'd like to see more videos like this where I go to events and share things that help with energy, lifestyle, and business, please subscribe and share this with someone that you think could benefit.